Hi, my name is Hana. I'm the owner of Bright Coffee here in San Antonio, Texas. My coffee journey started 10 years ago in 2013. It was my first job out of high school. I worked at Starbucks for a few years, and after that I started venturing out and visiting different specialty shops in San Antonio, and I was exposed to a whole new world and stayed in the coffee scene off and on. I started building my home coffee bar and just experimenting with a bunch of brew methods and trying out all these different beans, and I just fell in love with serving people and just the simplicity of making someone's day first thing in the morning and being a nice light for them as they go through the rest of their day. One of the first things I thought of when I became an owner of a coffee shop is the fact that I'm going to be responsible for people and a big part of their lives, and that weighed on me really heavily. I don't take that concept lightly, and one of the things that frustrated me about being a barista when I was just a barista, not an owner, being a barista was seen as a temporary gig, always. And there are ads about it in tech companies specifically that label a barista or stereotype a barista as just a stepping stone job. And it can be so much more than that if you're provided the opportunity. So that was one of my priorities when we hired people, was to provide those avenues of growth, whether that be wanting to roast more or doing more latte art or all these like little goals or big goals that help you stay in the industry and make being a barista or working in coffee a more sustainable career option. That's just meant so much to me, and that was so frustrating when I was working as just a barista, was that it just didn't feel like there was any room to grow. When I first started in specialty coffee, everyone I knew who was, I guess everyone I knew and, videos I would watch, everyone I saw around me were white men. I'm very proud of our team here for their diversity, and it is at the forefront of my mind, but it just kind of happened. And we picked people because they were passionate and they just had a spark to them, and it just happens. And I feel like now, where we're at in 2023, I'm seeing more people of color in ownership spaces and roasting spaces and competition spaces, and it feels encouraging, but it is still definitely just a drop in the bucket. Representation is important, and I feel like that's been proven over and over again in mainstream media, but same thing in a career space. It's like if you don't see yourself represented anywhere in the space, it's really hard to feel comfortable or even like take those first steps of curiosity. I've heard people tell me, and it means a whole bunch, when they say they feel very at home here, and it's a big deal. That's a big deal for someone to feel like that in any kind of public space, but to also feel like you're a part of something in a third space like a coffee shop is just really nice. Being in coffee is hard, and if you're going to be in coffee, you gotta really love it. And by love it, I mean appreciate every step, berry to cup. You gotta appreciate the farmers, the roasters, the baristas, and the customer. There's layers to each step of the coffee journey, and they're all equally important. One doesn't happen without the other. It's frustrating when the quantity becomes more important than the quality. People want to crank out a bunch of product that maybe isn't respectful to its origins. I feel like it's a big responsibility for baristas, especially because we're the final line in the chain, to provide a product that pays respect to everybody who came before, the roaster and the farmers. I'm Hana, and I love coffee in all of its colors.